Hi, Lana here. Lana's Lantern Holistic Women's Health and Fitness. It is Hormonal Hump Day, and I want to talk about carbohydrates, as usual, and your hormones. So, more fat and your hormones, actually. So, I'm reading Elizabeth Bright's book, and oh my goodness, there's so much information in there. It reads more comprehensive than a textbook in the first half of it regarding our hormones and the history of hormone replacement therapy and what that actually is, the history of what it actually has done to women, and how that really does affect your hormones. So we are supposed to go from fertile to infertile in a smooth transition. And when we have a whole host of other problems that they made up this word called menopause with, those are due to other issues. So yes, our estrogen declines naturally, and we do still have other hormones and estradiol created all throughout our body. But when we take synthetic hormones, the estrogen is actually a different form of estrogen. So it is not taken up by our estrogen receptor sites properly. And it creates a lot of other problems in the entire system because it's excess estrogen that our body doesn't use or even need. That's why we get cancers of our organs. There's a lot of lawsuits out there for women that have gotten cancer from HRT, and it's a big deal. So Elizabeth talks about using fat in our diet to support our hormones rather than synthetic exogenous hormones that our body isn't producing, so our body doesn't use properly. So if you eat more fat, it can change your hormones and your brain within 15 minutes. That's how fast healthy fats can affect you in a positive way. I've noticed myself with the carnivore diet, I've been really increasing my fat by adding ghee, 2 tablespoons to a cup of coffee before my walk in the morning, and then I have another 2 tablespoons in a cup of decaf coffees after my walk, and my moods are steady. When I start to feel a bit of edginess, I eat some fat. I'll have a piece of fatty meat, and in a very short time I feel back to normal. So honestly, I think that I have been starving my brain of fat for my lifetime until now, and I didn't realize it because we're always told to eat low fat for our diet. I heard I was listening to this doctor that specializes in diabetes, and they did a 10-year keto study on a type 1 diabetic with the keto diet. And although their LDL doubled in this 10-year study, all other markers, particularly cardiac, were way better than even people that weren't diabetic, than like any diabetic and people that were not diabetic. Their health markers were above and beyond healthy in a 10-year study doing keto. So it just goes to show, like, diabetes is based on a hormone, right? It's based on insulin. Your body's just producing too much insulin. This is type 2. And it just eventually, you're insulin resistant and it's just not working anymore, and your glucose levels are too high, your insulin levels are too high, and it just makes you sick in so many different ways. And then with type 1 diabetes, your pancreas isn't producing insulin, so you have to take exogenous insulin. So they studied this guy, 10-year study, very closely as an insulin, as a type 1 diabetic. And they had never seen a diabetic this healthy before, with this healthy of insulin levels and glucose levels. So Hormonal Help Hump Day, help yourself out by trusting your body. We were made in a particular way to thrive. We were made in a way to thrive. So it's up to us to figure out how to make that happen, rather than depending on man-made substances that create more problems for us than they help us. We can help ourselves by changing our diet, and it is super powerful. So Hormonal Help Hump Day, I know that I might sound like a broken record, but I won't stop, because you have it within you to feel good and be healthy and thrive. So happy Wednesday.